separate postures. Life is yoga. Your lifestyle is yoga. Your lifestyle is yoga. I saw my grandmother make wheat flour with the chakki. वो चक्की से किया ना, फिर ये सब आसन करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. कपड़े धोए ना ऐसा झुक के, फिर झुकने का आसन नहीं करना पड़ता. India has a lifestyle which is yoga. But the funny part is, anyways, I had to bend down, so I decided, hey, I'm not going to bend down. It's too much to bend down now. You know, it's kind of, who's going to bend down? So you know what I did? With my foot, I kicked the bucket under the tap. कितने लोगों ने झुकना नहीं है इसलिए बाल्टी को लात मारा है हाथ उठा. I just kicked the bucket under the tap. And when I kicked the bucket under the tap, I heard a sound from behind me saying, "What are you doing?" I turned around. It was a senior monk, a senior brother of mine. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Washing clothes." He said, "That I can see, but what are you doing?" I said, "Rinsing my clothes." He said, "That I can see, but what are you doing?" I said, "Sir, what is your trouble? Tell me. Why are you asking this question? What do you mean, what are you doing?" He said, "Why are you kicking the bucket?" I said, "Man, I'm kicking the bucket. I'm not kicking you. What is your trouble?" You know what he told me? What he told me transformed the way I think. He told me, it's not about kicking a bucket. It's about an attitude. If you deal with your things insensitively, you will end up dealing with people insensitively. जो आदमी बाल्टी को लात मार सकता है ना, एक दिन अपने पत्नी को भी लात मार सकता है. जो आदमी एक बाल्टी को यूज कर सकता है ना, वो लोगों को भी यूज कर सकता है. And I always say, things are meant to be loved and people are meant to be used. In the world today, things are loved and people are used to get those things, unfortunately for us. That day, in the ashram, in the monastery, I learned a very important, crucial lesson of my life. Sensitivity in dealings with the smallest things of your life can make you deal sensitively with the larger things in your life. I come from a country, India, where Ganga is not a body of water, it's Mother Ganga. Where cow is not just an animal, she's Mother Cow. Where the earth is just a planet, it's Mother Earth. अरे जहाँ एक planet को हम माँ बोलते हैं, जहाँ एक नदी को हम माँ बोलते हैं, तो माँ को माँ नहीं बोल सकते क्या? If we can treat a body of water with so much sensitivity, if we can treat an animal with so much sensitivity, if we can treat a planet with so much sensitivity, imagine how we would deal with human beings. The problem in all our relationships today, the way we deal with each other, is because we don't deal with inanimate things sensitively. Start dealing with the smallest things rightly, and you will see how this attitude becomes a part of you. And which is why the second aspect of yoga, if first is yoga gives you self-control, the second is yoga gives you sensitivity. And if you learn the philosophy of yoga, not just exercises and breathing, if you learn the philosophy of yoga and become sensitive, imagine how amazing your relationships would be, because you wouldn't just say what you want to say and do what you want to do when you deal with people. बाल्टी को जो लात नहीं मारता ना, उसकी एटीट्यूड होगी जो व्यक्ति को भी लात नहीं मारता. And my last, third aspect of yoga, and I'll end here. I know you have important things to do. I will end here. The third aspect of yoga is this. Like one boy, he was in school, and the teacher called for the father, and teacher said to the father, "I've been trying to teach your son how to pronounce the word electricity for the last 1 week. The guy keeps saying electricity." I teach him how to say electricity. He kept saying electricity. The teacher said, the father said to the teacher, what can my poor son do, you know? That's his capacity. Now believe me, whether you call it electricity or you call it electricity, when the bulb is connected to the power, it lights up. Yoga gives you self-control for physical and mental wellness. Yoga gives you sensitivity in your relationship for your emotional wellness. But much deeper than physical, mental and emotional. It's just like a bulb connected to a source of power gets lit up. Yoga teaches us how to connect ourselves, like the bulb, with divinity, with the divine, with God. How do we make that relationship in a way that His power, His grace, His energy flows into us? And when His grace, His energy, His power flows into us by that divine connection, imagine the sense of satisfaction. Imagine the sense of fulfillment that one can feel. And therefore, much larger than anything else, yoga is about spiritual wellness. Making that connection to the divine. And when you make that connection, your mind and your consciousness becomes selfless. In the world where selfishness is such a problem today, people are so narcissistic, only thinking about themselves. We need more selfless individuals, not selfish narcissists. And that side of yoga, the spiritual connection to the divine, contributes to that, to selflessness. One little boy, 5 years old, he came to his mother and said, "Mummy, I love you." The mother said, "I love you too, beta." The boy turned 16. He came to his mom and said, "Mummy, I love you." The mother said, "How much money you need, tell me." The boy turned 25, came to his mother and said, "Mom, I love you." Mother said, "Kaun hai, kidhar rehti hai, bata de, shadi kara de." The same guy turned 40, he came to his mother and said, "Mama, I love you." The mother said, "Bola tha na usse shadi mat kar." The same guy turned 60, said, "Mama, I love you." The mother said, "मैं किसी भी पेपर पे साइन नहीं करूँगी, नालायक, निकाल तू यहाँ बाहर, निकाल यहाँ से बाहर." I must tell you that we live in a narcissistic world where we only think about our own selves. Yoga is that spiritual connection which moves us from I to we, which moves us from selfishness to selflessness. And selflessness doesn't mean becoming a revolutionary selfless activist. You can be selfless in a very small way to someone around you as well. And when you act in that selfless sense, truly, the world can become a better place to live. Because we care not just for ourselves, but we care for others. इसीलिए मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ, सबसे बड़ा योगी, जानते हैं कौन है वो जो सबसे बड़ा योगी है? सबसे बड़ा योगी वो जो किसी और के लिए उपयोगी. If you are not उपयोगी or useful for someone else, anybody can do a damn darshan and say he is a yogi. योगी तो वो है जो दूसरों के लिए उपयोगी हो, इसलिए किसी के लिए उपयोगी बनिए. And thus, on this International Yoga Day celebration here, organized by the Consulate General of India, I want to conclude by saying yoga is three things. Mr. Chakrabarti, here you are. I didn't know it was you. I said your name, but I didn't know where to look. So thank you very much for organizing this event and having me over. A loud round of applause for this incredible event. Come on, let's make some noise. Loud of noise, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, do it. Oh, do it. Fantastic, fantastic. And therefore, my conclusion is yoga is a science that gives us the first S. Can we say it together? The first S that yoga gives us, self-control. And from self-control comes physical and mental wellness. The second S that yoga gives us, sensitivity. And from sensitivity towards others comes emotional wellness. And the third thing that yoga gives us is a spiritual connection. And from spiritual connection comes selfless service to others. When we have these three, then we are a yogi. Asanas and breathing is a tiny 1% part of yoga. 99% is what I've spoken. And therefore, let us try and be true yogis in our life. देवियों और सज्जनों, अगर सबसे बड़ा योगी बनना चाहते तो क्या बनना पड़ेगा? उपयोगी। किसी के लिए उपयोगी बनिए। जन कल्याण से आपका भी कल्याण होगा। सर्वे जनाः सुखिनो भवन्तु। Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Thank you.